morning, chilling Friday morning, and I don't know how it is for you, but whatever it is, however it is, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, welcome back to Bramble Talks, and on today's edition of Bramble Talks, we're going to be giving you an exciting topic, a very interesting one. And with me here, I have a very wonderful person, a very great person. I would like for her to introduce herself so that we all know her. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you. My name is Odunayo Aliu, and fortunately, I work in Bramble, and I'm the team lead.
Oh, you're welcome. We are glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so on today's Bramble Talk, our topic is going to be the need for strategizing our educational system. I mean the Nigerian education system. Okay, so ma, I want to ask, do you think there is need? Do you think we have to strategize those things, our educational system? Do you think there is need for it?
Absolutely. I think there is a need to re-strategize our Nigerian educational system. Over the past few years, there has been a lot of comments, a lot of complaints from virtually all the stakeholders in the education system, talking about the parents with their, maybe their expectations not being met, the learners, they are constantly losing motivation, government, and so there are a lot of complaints, and I think it's high time that we paid attention to all of these complaints and take their feedback to restructure how education is being done in Nigeria.
All right, ma'am. All right, talking about restructuring, talking about strategizing, are there thoughts? You said the stakeholders in the educational system, the parents, the learners, even the school owners, some of the school owners are complaining of how the educational system is. Do you think, you said there is a reason, there is need for us to. So what are those problems? What are those things you think should be done? What are those things you see that should be re-strategized in the educational system?
Okay, I think I would first say maybe our curriculum content.
Okay, ma'am.
We live in a world that is changing very fast, very, very fast. Especially, I think some of these changes is due to technology. And sadly, many of these changes is not reflected in our curriculum, especially in Nigeria. The school system is raising children for the next, let's say, 10 years, and we don't know how the world will be in the next 10 years. And we are still using the same yardstick that we used to raise children in the past 20 years. For example, many of the things I went through when I was in high school are some of the things that are still being repeated now. So I think that needs to be changed. We need to re-strategize our content. Put the World Economic Forum said some things about the future of work. Our children in school right now, the kind of career they still aspire to become, if you ask them, they will say doctor, they will say lawyer, and accountant, usually, or engineer, usually those four. And it's because of what the society has been painting to them over time. That was what happened when I was in school. I wanted to be a doctor. When my parents were in school, that was the same thing. But right now, in this generation, there are lots of, many, many more opportunities. They thought those careers were the luxury, and our curriculum, our school system is still painting those things for the children. But things have changed, technology and all of those things. So we need to put all of those elements into our curriculum, coding, for example, and yeah.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Because I was actually going to ask, what are those things, what are those elements you think should be input into our curriculum content? Okay, thank you for that. But do you think there are other things apart from coding, other things that our
are creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration. We need to find a way of bringing all of these soft skills into our education system. We need to begin to teach children all of these things while they are in school, because this is we have a lot of this is when we can really mold them. This is when they are very flexible, they can learn different things. We need to teach young people empathy, you know. So it's not just about the technical skills, it's also about the soft skills that we need to bring.
Right, talking about implementation of curriculum content, what do you think, what are the ways you think all this content should be implemented? Those people in charge of it, what are those things you think should be that should be done in implementing the content?
Okay. Thank you for talking about implementation, because I think both the curriculum content and the implementation are some of the ways that we can re-strategize our education system. So implementation, this basically has to do with the teachers and the school administration, the school management. So I think that we need to allow project-based learning, for example. We need to be more learner. We need to practice learner-centered learning in our class. We need to practice learner-centered learning in our classroom. We need to shift the kind of relationship that exists between the teacher and the learner, where the teacher are superior, they know everything, learners don't know anything. We need to tweak that a little bit and see this learner as a whole. They are they are also participating in this relationship. They are not just here to receive. Let them interact with the learner, with the teachers. So those are little things that we can do to make our implementation system better.
That's really a nice one. So we also what I really learned from what she said now, as a teacher, don't go to your class like you're the almighty of the class. We are all learners. All right. So that is really a wonderful one. So ma, what are the other tools you think that let's come to the government part now. What are the other things you think the government should do? Because when we talk about re-strategizing educational system, if you are trying to hold it on yourself as an individual, it might be kind of difficult for us. So what are those things you think government should do, government should implement so that our educational system is balanced? Because from my own personal research, I've come to understand that the major success of every country is from the educational system. So what are those things you think the government should do?
Okay. The first thing will be funding. So over the budget the budget allocated for education this 2021, has been the lowest in the last 10 years. So there's been a decline in the amount that is going into the education sector, which shouldn't be. Our governments need to, allocate more money into the education sector, because, like you said, education is the bedrock of development. Everybody says, but we don't practice it so much. So that's one thing, government funding, and also policies. We need to bring policy that allow innovation in our education sector. For example, as it stands right now in Nigeria, we are alternative. You have some wonderful ideas that does not follow the prescribed method. It's not going to be allowed. So I think maybe there can be a platform where people in the education sector that have all of these wonderful ideas can interact with the government and say, okay, hey, this and this is what is happening in this country. Finland, for example, they have a very wonderful education system. So check all of this model. How are they doing it that's working for them? Then find a way of implementing it in our own country.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank that are out of school already, and there's this mentality that what they learn in school, the educational system of their school has affected them. So the country is so poor, the country is this. That's those that have not really gotten employment. There are so many complaints we give because of this educational system. So, what advice do you give to those that are outside school that will not be able to get this curriculum content, this implementation, those that won't be able to get it? So, what are those advice? What are the advice you think you can give to them so that they too will be part of the system?
Okay, I would say that you know they have to learn on their own. you know, um, because you're out of the school system, we're products of the school system, and but we won't just sit down there and say, okay, this is what I learned in school, and it's not working for me in real life, and just stay there. No, you have to move. Thankfully, there's a lot of tools for self-learning online, and so just go online, learn things on your own, because that's one of the major things that we're pushing for system that allows for self-learning. So many great people that I know right now are products of self-learning. It's not just what the system gives to them; they have to learn on their own. So you're out there, you're out of school already, and you don't know what to do. You feel stuck because of what you learned in the school. You don't have any excuse. Go online and learn things on your own.
All right, thank you very, very much, Ma. It was a wonderful section with you. Okay, so this is it. You have it. You have to be a self-learner. You have to be a self-learner. So all education is self-learning. So no matter how the school system will have painted it for you, your teachers have laid a foundation for you to learn. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Bramble Talks. We thank you. We appreciate you, Ma, for coming.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
having
very
me.
much. All right. So once again, my name is Olaniyan Evelyn. So I want to show a word of appreciation to the head of Bramble Learning today, and thanks to our cameraman. Okay, she's actually a lady. Thanks to our camera woman, and thanks to every team in Bramble. We appreciate you for this wonderful opportunity. So thank you very much. Join us next time. Bye.